Hello, I'm Lisa Raufman, and I am from California and presenting from obviously my home office. I am honored to be part of the global conversation series on maximizing career guidance and development that Raza Abbas has initiated. As professionals, it is key to advocate for our careers professions digitally and virtually. One of my specialties is being an advocate for our profession and for career counseling in community colleges. If California was a country, it would have the fifth largest economy of almost 40 million people and over 100 community colleges. I will start by sharing my career path and how I became a career counselor and co author of the career fitness program, Exercising Your Options, which has been used as a textbook in colleges and universities throughout the United States and in China since 1989. Then I will explain the steps I took to become a career centers and career counselor advocate. I started with a master's degree in community college counseling in the 1970s and learned that at, by working at a community college, we were always underfunded and we always needed more money. The way to get money was to write a grant. My college happened to be excellent at writing grants to create model programs for career services. In the old days, career services was just how to get a job and to get a job, job services. Now we were comprehensive career services from career classes that help people understand how they could find out more about themselves so they can choose a career, how to make a decision, how to write a resume, how to know about the job market, and how to get a job. Much of the beginning work that I did is reflected actually in John Krumholtz's theory of planned happenstance, where luck, chance, curiosity, and learning from failure were key elements. I majored in history at UCLA as an undergraduate. I was always interested in psychology and helping people. So I worked at college and I volunteered 5 to 10 hours a week helping people by working in special education, working in tutoring, working in peer counseling areas such as suicide prevention. It was when I worked with suicide prevention at UCLA that I learned that I really had an interest and a facility with counseling and helping people find a better place in their life. That led me to happenstance. I happened to work in the Career Center. So I happened to talk to a part-time counselor who was very enthusiastic and informed me of something I did not know. I did not know that to become a counselor, you needed a graduate degree. I did not know that a history major could get a graduate degree in counseling. I thought you had to be a psych major to get a counseling master's degree. And who was I to know about graduate school, as nobody in my family had gone to college? That counselor changed my life. I wound up going for a master's degree and interning at 3 different colleges and learning all about career programs in community colleges. And the community colleges had students who ranged in age from 16 years old to 85. Yes, really, 85. In fact, the first job I got at a community college was not as a professional counselor, but as an advisor working with senior citizens, people over 55 years old. And I found that people over 55 just hadn't had a chance to go to college and were still enthusiastic and ready to learn and ready to have new opportunities. And that stayed with me the rest of my community college career. I also learned the importance of writing grants to the federal and state government to get funding for our Career Center and how to influence state policies in education by being encouraged by my administrators to sit on statewide committees as a counselor to contribute to statewide policies. That is luck. Not every counselor in every college gets an opportunity to do that. I learned the importance of attending statewide and local counseling conferences to learn new information about my field and how to teach students to plan for careers. My students were of many different ethnic backgrounds, as well as many international students came to California. So I always had to kind of learn more about the student that I was counseling. I was also lucky enough to get to go to local conferences where people such as John Holland or Richard Bowles, who wrote What Color's My Parachute, presented. I was at week-long conferences with both of those people. And my other influences were positive psychology experts such as Martin Seligman, and who I also met at a conference, and Angela Duckworth, both of University of Penn. At the foundation of my training was somebody I never met, but it was Donald Zucker, whose emphasis was self-concept theory. And it was a very important theory because I found that students who didn't believe in themselves didn't follow through on their plans. We could get students to make great plans, but if they didn't have a good self-concept of and positive outlook and confidence, they were not going to follow through on the plan that we got them to do as a class goal. When I became an author, I became a trainer of other career counselors throughout California primarily. And I also got involved with the California Career Development Association. Because career counselors are only a small group of professional people, we need to learn how to influence statewide policies. One grant that I wrote was to promote career counselors learning new skills and learning about new growth industries. The other grant I wrote in the 1990s allowed me to travel throughout different regions of California and put on workshops with community college graduates who were in wonderful occupations. And they were in such fields as marine diving technology, robotic engineering, and health information technology, all pretty new fields in the 1990s. My career specialty became job market trends, and that is when I reframed myself to being a career strategist as an expert on career trends. It helped that California was where Silicon Valley started. Part of my grant was to have community college counselors attend workshops inside the high-tech companies that were in Silicon Valley. I presented at counseling conferences and expanded to working through the National Career Development Association at their annual conferences. And as happenstance would have it, I met Dr. Marilyn Mays, who was an officer with National Career Development Association. But by 2014, she had just created Asia Pacific Career Development Association. I had known her for 20 years through all my associations and all my travels in California. But she was now in Washington, D.C., and she was very involved with NCDA. And through NCDA, they created the International Conference, and it has been an amazing adventure to be with the Asia Pacific Career Development Association. I got to spend 4 days at my first conference, which was with them, which was their second annual conference in Hawaii. And the theme of the conference, as happenstance would have it, was planned happenstance theory in practice. And all of our presentations was about how planned happenstance had been a factor in programs that we had at our colleges. And for 4 days, I got to interact with John Furholtz, an amazing, amazing psychologist. It is through being involved with APCDA and NCDA that I have taken back conference information about research, theory, new trends that are throughout the world to my local colleagues and to my statewide colleagues. Most probably the most influential theory that's come out recently is Mark Savickas' narrative process, which I have shared with graduate students at Cal State Northridge. I have been recently reframing myself to work on economic justice issues. Many people are working on social justice issues. I consider a career counselor an expert on economic justice. Economic justice is aligned with social justice. If we can help our students and clients learn how to negotiate for jobs that guarantee a living wage and possibilities for promotions, for maximizing an individual's contributions, if we can coach our clients to learn how to add value to their jobs by letting their employers know what company needs they can fulfill with their skills, if we can help our clients to recognize that change in the workplace is a constant, so that lifelong learning is imperative for people to adapt to new technologies and new ways of working, we are helping to promote economic justice. However, in ending this presentation, I want to say I know many colleagues, counselors, do not enjoy writing grants, or they don't know how to contribute to public policy. But they can. They can do it through their country, state, or regional associations. The associations I have been affiliated with have simple ways for members to write to national and international policymaking groups such as the UN. I have friends who have influenced the UN Sustainable Development Goals, which I recommend everybody look up. And they have ways for us to easily write our local representatives and to tell them about career counseling initiatives and to promote funding career counseling initiatives. It's as easy as writing an email now or attending a Zoom session where you interact with influential people. Counselors need to sit on the statewide committees, though. Luckily, it can be done by Zoom now. One recent innovation in the United States that has happened through counselors being on national and statewide committees in the US is something called career pathways. 20 years ago, it was just an idea that careers should be integrated into the classroom. And so young people as early as elementary school could be learning about careers by having career conferences on their campus, and their teachers in English having them write essays about what it means to be a doctor, a lawyer, a robotics technician, a STEM worker, a person who knows about astrology, astronomy, and science. All of those are people's interests, but kids love to talk about those kind of fields, but they need encouragement from early years so that they can think about themselves being in those fields. I want to thank you for letting me share my pathway to career counseling and to advocacy, and hope that many others will take this lead. Thank you.